welcome to Homestead Stories. Today we're going to be reviewing a roof rack for a 2014 Subaru Impreza. I found this one on Amazon from a company called Bright Lines, and I wanted to try to find a roof rack that was as close to factory as possible. I know that there are several options out there for like universal fit roof racks, but I wanted to try to get something as close to factory with this. So I'm going to go ahead and go over unboxing, what's included, and also installation. Package here, and as you can see, you get installation instructions. You have an Allen key right here, comes included. Comes with these little screws. Then you have your clamps here for installation. Now, these are going to come marked. It has like a little arrow for where the screws are going to go, but it's also going to have your left and right indicators right here. So if you follow this, it's going to guide you to how to assemble this. Another neat thing is that they also have stickers indicating which of the rails go where. So you can see this one is marked rear and then front. And you see each of these has already the hose pre-drilled for the screws that you're going to attach the clamps to. So we're going to go ahead and start attaching the clamps. You'd be wondering is, are these clamps specific to the front or the back rail? They are not, okay? So you basically get two left clamps and you get two right ones, but it won't matter where you mount these, whether you put it in the rear one or the front one, as long as you follow, left to the left and right to the right. So what you're gonna see is we're gonna start off with the rear rack here, and I'm gonna install the left side first. You're gonna notice that these rails have a specific shape to them that's going to correspond with the shape of the clamp itself. So you just want to make sure that you insert it the right way. Important thing to remember, this sticker right here is on here, but just in case it comes off in shipping, you're going to see that there's like an indentation, a groove right here, and you're going to see the shape here. This shape, this more rounder end here, it's not as narrow as this end, is the side you want facing forward, okay? So we're going to go ahead and insert the left clamp following that shape there, okay? Then you're going to see the hose here for the screws. You just want to line it up there and start inserting your screws. So we went ahead and tightened down these two screws here on the left clamp, and we're going to go ahead and start inserting the screws here on the right clamp. Now you will notice, see this little channel right here that they have here? That's so that you can adjust your clamp for however wide you need it to be, depending on the vehicle that you're installing it. I believe this rack also fits on not only the Impreza, but also the Crosstrek as well. So it has a little bit of play there for you to be able to make those micro adjustments, okay? So that's what that's there for. So we'll go ahead and just put the screws on about halfway, and then when we go to install, we'll see exactly how wide we need these to be. Right here, I left the screws a little bit loose so that we can go ahead and slide this to match the width of the vehicle that we're going to install it on, and then once we figure out how wide we need it to be, we can go ahead and finally tighten the screws. Finish installing our screws. We left the right hand side one's semi-loose here so that we can go ahead and make adjustments as needed. And this is the bottom of the rails, and you can see these screws right here are still loose. We're going to go ahead and loosen these a bit so that the clamps start to open up and we can attach them to the car, and then once we get them to where we want, we'll go ahead and tighten these screws up top, okay? So we're going to go into installation next. What we went ahead and did is we loosened this screw right here just enough so that the clamp would open up, so that it would go ahead and fit over the actual car's rail. And we're going to go ahead now and tighten this. I want to get right up to the edge there. Don't mind my car, I know it needs to be washed. But we're going to go ahead and just make sure that this clamp is aligned before we go ahead and tighten it, so it gets a good secure fit. And we're going to go ahead and attach this one, because the left side doesn't have the sliding adjusters like the right one does. So this one is pretty much going to fit only one way here. So we go ahead and just make sure that you're tightening nice and snug so it doesn't rattle or go flying off, God forbid, when you're driving. Alright, so that's on there really secure there. It's not going anywhere. So now we're going to go ahead and do the right side. Went ahead and loosened up the right hand front clamp, and went ahead and slid this in a little bit so that the clamp would seat itself. And now we're going to go ahead and slide forward. You see how when we were going over the assembly, I showed you those two sliders that they had there. That's what it's for, to allow you to position it where you need it and then slide it into place. So we're going to go ahead and tighten this one down. Alright guys, so we finished going ahead and tightening this screw here. So as you can see, the front rail is installed nice and sturdy. It's not going anywhere, there's no play there. Make sure these screws are nice and tight. And we're going to go on to the rear rail. Guys, so we're going ahead and clamping this left rear clamp. I would say this installation, once you get the rails on the roof, it's probably about 7-8 minutes max. It's super easy. Doesn't take long at all. Just want to make sure that you go ahead and tighten this. You don't have to over tighten it because you don't want to snap. This is made out of ABS plastic. The rails are metal, but the clamps are plastic. But you definitely want to make sure that it's tight enough that it's not going to go rattling. And if you do tie anything to this roof rack, that it's not going to come loose. And seated the right rear clamp here. We're going to go ahead and just tighten this down. Alright, so that's on there nice and snug. You can see here, rocking the car. It's not going anywhere. Then just got to remove these stickers when you're done. After, you can see that they look very close to factory, which is the look that we wanted for our car. And like I said, installation, once you assemble the clamps to the rails, it's about 7-8 minutes max to go ahead and install these to the roof of the car. So one question that I know a lot of people are going to ask, according to the specs on the rack, it says that it's rated for 150 pounds. So I don't have any reason to doubt it. It looks pretty solid the way it's built. But like I said, hopefully you found the video informative or helpful. I'm curious if you have tried this same rack yourself. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think. Thanks.